And we are live.
Okay, good. My screen froze on the countdown, so I was like, "Oh shit! Did it stall for me?"
I see.
Okay.
All right. All right, ladies, gents, and everyone in between, welcome to this very special, on occasion, live stream. I'm joined by my good friends Joe and Kevin of American Elephant and Wet Customs. I don't know if I'm
Okay,
pronouncing that
can
correctly.
I just say, good friends is a very strong word. I don't know if we should go with that term.
All right, acquaintances.
No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
But
All right then. All right. So this is like something new I'm planning on doing for all my regular channel viewers, all 0 of you watching right now. And this will be up afterwards. I might do this from time to time if I find some Star Wars news I find worthy of talking about. I'm pretty sure most of you have heard, but in recent news, Adam Driver, who played Kylo Ren in Star Wars, pitched a standalone movie with Steven Soderbergh, but Disney rejected the script. I will be sharing this right now on the screen. All right. In a recent sit-down with the Associated Press, Driver said that over the span of 2 years, he and Soderbergh had developed a script called The Hunt for Ben Solo. The film would have taken place after the events of Rise of Skywalker and would have followed Driver's Kylo Ren, aka Ben Solo, on the search for redemption. So, I was always interested in doing another Star Wars, Driver said. I had been talking about it since doing another one since 2021. Kathleen Kennedy reached out. I always said, with a great director and great story, I'd be there. I love the character and I loved playing him. All right. We presented the scripts to Lucasfilm. They loved the idea. Driver recalled, they totally understood our angle and why we were doing it. We took it to Bob Iger and Alan Bergman, and they said no. They didn't see how Ben Solo was alive. Lucasfilm declined to comment. All right. Thoughts?
Okay, so on the one hand, a film set after the sequel trilogy. Yeah, it feels like we should have fucking gotten that by now, or at least news about something for that by now. So I'm glad that at least somebody, whether an actor or director, just somebody wanted to do something. And as well, I will say, of the sequel trilogy, Kylo Ren is one of my favorite characters, probably maybe even my favorite. I don't know if I'd say that, but looking back, a lot of my favorite moments from those films are with him specifically, even at his worst, or even if he's not, even if you don't think he's a good villain, like I don't really care because I find him very captivating and fun to watch. So I'm all up for more Kylo for sure. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, obviously Bob Iger's a twat, but
Fast.
like, I understand why he and Alan Bergerman were like, yeah, how is he alive? Because recall, spoilers for The Rise of Skywalker, he literally ghosted Rey. He disappeared after like giving her his life force. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this because on the one hand, I too am tired of the whole quit bringing some of these characters back, just let them stay dead thing. On the other hand, I am like, we can't just tell stories in between the sequel trilogy and Return of the Jedi forever, right? Like, exactly. Yeah, this Heir to the Empire stuff is interesting, but I am like, can we get a new trilogy with Rey? Can we?
You know what I think we should do? We should have a story about a Jedi that survived Order 66, and it ends with a cameo with Darth Vader.
Bit far-fetched.
And then they escape.
Right.
Genius.
We haven't seen that before.
Yeah, here's $500 million. Make it happen.
Right. Yeah. Never seen that before. And bonus points if they just die at the end, because literally every single Jedi ever has to die because Luke Skywalker exists, and we can never tell any Star Wars stories outside the canon. Otherwise, people will be mad about it, because when we have disqualified canon. People got pissy about it, so
Except Ahsoka, she's gonna live for fucking ever.
yeah, she'll become the veal of the Force at this
How much you want to
rate.
bet that Ahsoka was going to be in that Ben Solo movie? Because Dave Filoni,
Absolutely.
Dave
that
Filoni
sounds
was the
about
one
right.
who helped greenlight it.
Dave
There's
Filoni
a
would
reason
not
he
have
liked
approved
it.
it if
He
she didn't have
was
some role.
he was like, okay, guys, we'll do your little Kylo Ren movie, but on one condition: I get to bring in my Clone Wars characters. But yeah, I don't know. So Kevin, you said your piece. Is it okay if I give my?
Yeah, go for it.
So I don't know. I am still very conflicted. I remember reading, like, when I first saw the news, like, earlier this week, and I thought, oh, okay. Like, because we're at a point now where Star Wars movies, like, news will just come out that we have a canceled Star Wars movie, and I'll just think nothing of it because this is, I think, the 15th Star Wars movie that has been canceled since Rise of Skywalker, and
Damn.
I'm at that point where I'm kind of numb to that news. And specifically with Ben, like Kevin said, I think we definitely need to back off with bringing characters back to life. However, I do think that with the right story, you can use that trope correctly. I think Darth Maul coming back to life is stupid. However, the story they told with him was really cool. I don't like that Boba Fett coming back was weird because he didn't really die, but he was pretty much dead. But he came back in the Mandalorian. I think he was okay in the Book of Boba Fett. I don't think he was amazing. They could have been a little more consistent. And the jury is still out on Asajj Ventress. I thought I was okay with her coming back, and now I'm just kind of waiting for them to do justice to that because I am not a fan of her story in Tales of the Underworld, and I think if that's all they wanted to do with her, if they brought her back just to tell another story about someone taking care of a child and having a like found family trope, I don't know if that was the best choice because it could have been done with almost any character. So with Ben, I think that if the plan was to just have him stay alive, what was the point of having him die in the first place?
Yeah, that's a totally valid perspective to have. Like, because Star Wars has been doing this forever, and like at this point, we all should be like, they need to stop bringing back these characters. However, I do think like Ben Solo is a very, very the only exception, really, because like it gives us a very special opportunity that we had with Asajj Ventress, but they kind of shat the bed with. To give like
I wouldn't say they did that. I would more so say that they have a lot of potential with Ventress's character, and they right now are wasting it because you can tell a lot with that story. You can bring in Quinlan Voss, you can have her meet Darth Maul again, you can have her meet Marin, and right now it's just very we'll bring in her bounty hunter friends from season 4. We'll have her fight an Inquisitor. Like it's very basic stuff that isn't really like using all of that potential that a character like Asajj Ventress has. I don't know, but
for sure.
Yeah.
But I also think like with Ben being an exception is they have a very special opportunity if they bring him back to give him a true, like thorough, like complete redemption arc. That most Star Wars Riva kind of had one, but we didn't really see much after that. I want to see Ben Solo atone for the shit he did for the rest of his life. See him actually become a good person genuinely, making his case like at the end of his life as to why he should enter heaven. I think that would have been awesome.
I think that like redemption isn't enough. Like I want to see atonement. I think that like for example, I really like Crosshair's story in The Bad Batch because it takes a lot for him to kind of repent for his actions. He doesn't just turn good right away. I really like that it's a slow burn with his character. And I do think that Crosshair has, at least in my opinion, the greatest like redemption in Star Wars. I like Darth Vader's, but Crosshairs means a lot to me because we had to earn that redemption. We had to earn seeing that character come back to the good side. And I think one of my least favorite tropes, honestly, in any adventure story is having a character get redeemed, quote unquote, by just having them die. I think it's a very weak and almost cowardly approach to do.
Exactly. And that's something I
Mhm.
like that the Ahsoka series is kind of playing with. Like with like the ghost of Anakin or whatever the hell that was, like in the world between worlds. I like
Yes.
how they're showing him having like still being a little bit evil, having a bit like a dark streak, like
Yes.
not fully redeemed. And that's something that I expect them to play with in like season 2. Like Ahsoka actually teaching him how to atone for what he's done.
Yeah. They play with that a little bit. I would like for them to have them address Vader's past because I feel like something they don't do a lot is kind of call out Anakin on being Vader. They skirt around that a lot in Ahsoka.
Yeah.
Like Ahsoka never mentions the stuff that he's done, and I don't need them to spell it out. I would just like for them to be a little more thorough.
Right.
You can do a lot with that character's past, and hopefully, if the rumors are true, and we are going to see a lot more of Force Ghost Anakin, I would be down to have just flat out discussions. Like I don't need to see Clone Wars flashbacks if it's just Anakin's ghost and Ahsoka just having a talk. I'm okay with that.
Honestly, yeah, I'd kind of like more of that in Ahsoka. It'd be interesting to see them not only tell stories about what's happens between like Sense, but also just exploring where they are now. Like, what do they want? I have said this before. One of the things that I liked that Ahsoka was going for, but I felt that it didn't. I kind of wanted it to focus on it more. Was this idea that Ahsoka she doesn't want to keep fighting all the time. She wants to find things to live for outside of a fight. And I think there could be some interesting discussion there. Maybe even comment on how it feels like Ahsoka's been brought back so much in Filoni projects. The thing is, I think the show was too focused on the whole, again, I don't hate the show, but I really still question the decision to like focus so much of it on Ahsoka and Sabine had a relationship that we don't get to see, and it's like just
Tales of the Jedi season 2.
Out of all
we
the
gotta
tales,
wait for that.
out of all the Tales of the Jedi stories
God.
that we could have done, that would have been awesome.
Literally,
In the Rebels animation style too.
Literally, all they needed was honestly. I would have taken one episode. I would have taken one hour-long episode showing like a time lapse. Would have been fine for me. I'm very lenient when it comes to this stuff. Like, I don't need much, but
just make it like a straight to Disney Plus movie. I don't know.
Yeah,
like
hell,
cheap,
honestly,
low budget.
a part of me wishes that instead of Sabine, Jason was the one with learning Force sensitive stuff. I know that would have I know some people would have bitched and moaned because when she's bringing a kid into battle, like Jedi didn't do that already, and but it's just, I mean, it's not good, obviously, but like if you're gonna complain about Star Wars doing that, it's like, guys,
also they do that anyway in the show.
Yeah,
Hera brings children into a voice.
Like Thrawn.
Exactly. So maybe on the one hand, I don't want to put up with the people that said like, oh, Peter Parker's a bad dad in Spider-Verse, but on the other hand,
I hate that crowd. There's just one specific fuck who made a video like that I fucking hate. I'm not gonna name names, everyone knows about it, but
Chris Stuckman. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but with the whole back to Ben, I guess. So okay, if we were to get this Ben Solo film again, I'm not against the idea of exploring Ben's character more after Rise of Skywalker. It's just there's one problem. He fucking died, or at least he disappeared in a Force ghost way, like friggin' Obi-Wan did, and it's like, okay, first of all, when the hell? This is the thing I'm most concerned about, because if they make this show, even if it's like peak, even if it's like amazing, and one of the what Matt Reeves did for the Penguin levels of peak, even if it could somehow reach that, people still wouldn't be satisfied because actually this Force sensitive power wasn't explained. And to an extent, I kind of agreed. Like, what new Force shit is going to be pulled out, and how is it going to explain, like,
Well,
Star Wars has
I'm
always done this. They've always
well,
introduced shit out of nowhere. The second
so
movie introduces like moving shit with your mind. The second movie ever made.
true?
I don't
I-
entirely because the thing is, I am more so forgiving of new stuff getting introduced going forward. Like, I think the thing with Star Wars is they jump around a lot, so the issue is that as long as you explain it, then
Yeah.
going forward it's only an issue. Like, for example, I'm gonna pull something random. In Guardians of the Galaxy 3, there are these like healing like med packs that they have that like heal wounds, and I've seen some people say like, where have these been? Like, this is an issue, and I would agree it is an issue going forward because now we have to address this. But before, it was not an issue because these didn't exist. We don't know how long these have been in effect
Right.
for.
I mean, like supposedly Guardians 3 takes place like 5 years or like 3 years after Endgame, like, and plus like we don't know what happened in between like the 5 years everyone was gone. So it's like an 8 year span, like where this technology could have been invented.
True. Yeah. So, okay, I get what you're saying. Yeah. So when you introduce something in like a prequel that's brand new, it's like, okay, hold on. But when it's like after, yeah, I agree with that too. I think for me, it's just more so like because of my mental association of like, okay, when you're a Force ghost, like, yes, you're still technically there and wandering, but you're not like, it's not like a poltergeist thing where they can. Actually, wait, I take that back because Yoda used fucking Force lightning in Last Jedi. So wait, that is totally a thing.
Yeah,
They
The thing is with
or actually that's actually a specific thing because Octo like explained like the books and shit. I know people don't like reading books, but it's explained that Octo has an unusually strong connection to the Force, like that island and that planet, which would explain why they're allowed to manipulate.
yeah, it's like a
Okay,
lightning rod.
So it's
Yeah,
more
like
okay, yeah. So
plus
it's
the tree too.
So it's an exception and it magnifies his power. Okay,
yeah,
Exactly. I
that's
did a video
that's
about
also
this,
probably
actually.
why Luke is able to interact with objects and stuff on Octo. However, I'm like okay. I'm like the one person who's not upset with Force ghosts being able to interact with the environment because like one thing that always annoyed me as a kid is when Obi-Wan sits on a log.
My favorite part of Star Wars is when the ghost gets tired.
Wait,
I'm not
that's
even
a
like
good-
trying to make a meme out of it. I just was always like, how does that work? Like, he can't, so he can interact with the.
That's a good point.
Log.
Yeah,
That's weird. So
Yeah,
like, it's weird, and like so people like when people say well like I hate it when people try to defend that being like well that made sense but like Luke catching a lightsaber like no.
yeah.
It's either all okay or none of it's okay. And
No, I think there is a nuance to it. Like I made a video about this like 2 years ago now. Jesus Christ, it's a while ago. But it's like what's the deal with Force Ghosts? It explains like why Jedi can't see and interact with them, why they can interact with the world, and why they can't like intervene in like fights and shit. Like, and I came up with a theory that only Jedi or people who use the light side of the Force are able to see like Force ghosts.
Is that
like,
not confirmed?
And it's never like stated outright.
Well, because only Sabine, for example, at the end of Ahsoka, only Sabine can see Anakin, and then Ahsoka sees him. So it's like,
I think it's because she's not strong enough in the Force yet.
well, no, but she sees him.
No,
Because she isn't like she sees him, but she doesn't.
It's like a glimmer.
She doesn't know like what's happening because that's the first time she's seen a Force ghost. So she's like, wait, what is that? So like she kind of like second guesses it, like, oh, I don't even know what that is, and she just kind of like brushes it off. But Ahsoka knows Anakin, so she's able to immediately recognize, oh, this is a Force ghost. So because there is never a point where a non-Force sensitive character sees a Force ghost. Like Obi-Wan only interacts with Luke.
And I've seen also people say like, why didn't the Force Ghost help at the with Rey at the end of the movie fighting Palpatine? I mean, yeah, but not physically appear. Like, is what I mean. That's what they want.
But they like give her a power up though.
Yeah.
So like they technically did.
Now that I think about it, I do wonder, like, so if this were set after episode 9, would this make it episode 10, like the start of
I would assume it would just
in
be
the
another
same-
spin-off movie. I don't
in
think it would
this-
be the official episode 10.
Yeah, like people said that like when the Ray movie had a lot of buzz going towards it, like people said, like the guys making it said it's going to be episode 10 in all but name. So yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, I think what grabs me about that is like so let's say they make it and it's like, okay, then they go on to make an episode 10, which I'm open for like just something after Rise of Skywalker, please. I don't want to just keep doing like that is the one thing. I like a lot of these in-between stories, but my thing is like whether it's set between the prequels and the original trilogy or the original trilogy and the sequels, they both have this undercurrent of like, and sometimes it doesn't matter to me, but sometimes it does. It's a little inconsistent, but there's always this background idea of like, okay, you really got to show me why this story matters if it's all going to get fucked in the end. This is why I was hesitant to play the Jedi games for a while, because although I love them now, at first I was like, why should I play a game with a Jedi character who I know is just going to die before A New Hope anyway, because that's what happens to all of them. They have to die before A New Hope because Luke Skywalker, and we can never fuck with the canon. I know I'm generalizing, but that's what it felt like for me initially. Like, why should I care about these characters if they're all just going to die? Mind you, this was before the Tony Gilroy dropped the banger interview line of, I mean, we all die someday. And I was like, ooh, bars. I was an idiot. But yeah, so with this, I do think that this is why I'm confused with the whole, like, I'm curious about the whole heir to the Empire thing. I have no idea how it's going to work out, because it's like, so how the hell do we get from Thrawn and that shit to the rise of the Resistance? How do we go from like the heir to the Empire stuff to the New Republic being so complacent that they don't see the First Order as a threat anymore, even though they have amassed enough resources to destroy multiple planets with an even bigger Death Star? I know they're not the same, but
I mean yeah. Also, like, consider the fact that this takes place after the Aftermath trilogy. We were like about Jakku and everything.
Right. Yeah. So point is, I am okay. I am happy with something being after episode 9. But the thought that just crossed my mind earlier was, let's say they do this movie and then Ben Solo is back in episode 10, which, okay, I think is fine. Actually, if he's still a Force ghost, that's okay. Like, I can buy Ben sticking around in like a trilogy afterward as a Force ghost. But if he like comes back and he isn't a Force ghost, and it's like, how the hell did that happen? I fear it could be like a Book of Boba Fett effect with Mando season 3. Like, go watch The Hunt for Ben Solo to figure out how the hell he's here or something. To be honest, like, there's a lot of people who like love Ben Solo. Like it's true. Like, after I've seen people who despise the sequel trilogy, like online, say like, I wanted this Ben Solo movie. I would have paid money for this. So I feel like it would have generated enough buzz to where people would have seen it already. Okay.
I know people who hate the sequels, but they will defend Kylo Ren until the day they die. Like, he's a very popular character.
Yes. Yeah. I think my brain is just flip-flopping back and forth so much that it's kind of like messing up its own points of contention. I don't know how to feel about this, because on the one hand, I'm like, yeah, I do kind of want this, but on the other hand, I'm like, I just don't know. And on top of that, like, I'm just so conflicted on this, because even when we get some certain stories where I'm like, oh yeah, I want to be super excited for this, I'm either disappointed or I'm just like, I thought it existed. Like Ahsoka. I love Ahsoka as a character, but honestly, the more I've been exposed to her, the more and more I've been like, I'm going to step back from Ahsoka stories and thinking about them for a minute, because I'm just not as interested in some stuff. Like, the Ahsoka show has things I like about it, but then there's some things where I'm like, why is this in a Ahsoka series? Why can't this just be a Rebels. See, I know you don't like Rebels, Joe, and that's fine. But like,
What?
a lot of this makes sense for like just a Rebels sequel. And I know, I don't know. It's bizarre. I think it's just weird in my head, and I can't really put together what's bugging me about it or what I'm like most excited about. If I'm rambling, somebody take the mic from me.
You know what I think they should have done? This is just like my like just this is something that I don't even know if it would work. It's just like an opinion that I have. Has anyone ever heard of the movie Defending Your Life?
I have not.
I don't
Meryl
think
Streep
so.
is in it. So the concept of that movie is a person dies. I think he dies in a car crash, I think. And he's basically on trial where whenever someone dies, they either get reincarnated or they move on to like a great beyond and they go to like the next plane of existence. And basically the people who are in charge, they're like angels kind of, but they're like businessmen. It's kind of like the TVA actually, where it's like these otherworldly people are just normal businessmen. It's very funny.
Wait, kind of like the Good
And
Place?
huh?
Like the Good Place?
Yes.
Ah,
And they basically are like, yeah, you're kind of pathetic and you wasted your life, so we're just gonna send you back and to get reincarnated. And he has to prove that his life is worth it because he really likes Meryl Streep and he wants to move on to the next plane of existence with her, and that's what the movie is based around. And I think
I wrote that down like in my script for a video I'm making exactly. Like I thought about making a video like explaining like routes they could take if they ever want to make this movie. Like, and
so
that's
yeah,
something I wrote down. So cool.
I think that what they should have done was a movie like that where Ben Solo is in the world between worlds and
Ooh.
basically maybe the Wills are judging him on whether or not he can come back as a force entity,
I
as a
wrote that
force
down
spirit.
too.
Are you okay?
No way. I wrote that down too.
Okay. Did I just give you like a semi heart attack? It sounded like you flipped a chair there.
Right.
No, I
No,
dropped my
but
phone. My bad.
basically he's on trial, and then we could have like a Force Ghost like Christmas Carol where it's like Anakin visits him or Yoda and they have to impart wisdom on him, and we get glimpses into Kylo's past where maybe we see him as a First Order ruler or him with the Knights of Ren. I think that would be a really cool opportunity to develop them because the Knights of Ren do have a lot of potential, and I think having them fleshed out through those flashbacks would have been really fun.
Yeah, I
And
think
then
I
the
would.
movie ends with Ben. Maybe he has to like fight his way through, whether it's metaphorically or physically, like to some portal where he can move on, and he has to like push through and accept that he like has to maybe grapple with the fact that he maybe doesn't deserve it, and then it's that acceptance that finally does get him to move on. Something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be a perfect movie. However, I do think it would have been a really good opportunity to end Ben's story. I think maybe having the chance for him to come in contact with Rey would have been really cool. Even if it,
Yeah.
like having him have the chance to talk with her one last time. Because I think another thing they could have done for the Rey movie was have it so Rey is feeling discouraged and she wants to bring. By the way, I said this years ago. I totally called it, where Rey's feeling discouraged as the Last Jedi, and she doesn't know if she can do it alone, so she wants to bring Ben Solo back to life to help her. However, she has to learn that Ben Solo is not coming back, and then Ben visits her as a Force ghost and tells her like, "You have to move on without me. You can do this on your own. You are Rey Skywalker." I think that would have been cool. Like
Nice.
it would have been a way to incorporate Ben into the story without him needing to come back to life.
Yeah, another similar to that Meryl Streep film you were describing. Another movie I've heard about that I haven't seen, but I've heard nothing but great things for is the A24 film A Ghost Story, where a man dies and basically like kind of haunts his home and watches as like not only the people he wants to be with move on or leave, but also as like new people come in, and yet he's still tethered to this place in that memory. And mind you, he looks like just a white sheet with eye holes, like a Charlie Brown ghost, and yet it's
Aw.
so effective and simple, apparently. And it's apparently a very like sad but beautiful movie. I think that there's something there of like a Force ghost wandering, or it sounds stupid as shit when I say it out loud, but
Like-
honestly, a Christmas Story type film with Force ghosts, it sounds really dumb on its own, but if you think about it, it's like, wait.
Well, they
this could-
technically did that already.
Yeah, with Lego Star Wars.
Yeah, Lego Star Wars did that
Oh,
with Finn.
okay.
Finn gets visited by Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Leia, I think.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It was fine. It was the probably
It's
the
cute.
weakest of the 3 Lego shorts. I still think the Halloween one is the best one. And that
Okay,
made
I haven't seen all those yet. I haven't finished the Halloween one and
Halloween
caught up
one is so
since.
good.
Kevin,
I don't
you are-
like.
Kevin, you are correct about Ghost Story, by the way. I've seen it. It is beautiful.
Oh, okay,
Beautiful.
good.
It's Casey Affleck's best movie.
Right, yeah, that's Casey Affleck, Rooney Mara. I'm looking on the wiki. Rooney Mara and Will Oldham. I don't know those two people, but I do have heard of Casey Affleck, so
Yeah.
something. Yeah,
Anyways, Joe, what were you gonna say, by the way?
yeah. Sorry for cutting you off.
Oh no, it's okay. No,
Okay.
I was just saying I like the Halloween one. That one is cool. It has Graballa in it. Graballa's cool, and also I just have a Halloween bias. I think that like it goes like the Christmas one was fine. The Halloween one is really good because the stories are actually really funny, and then you have the summer vacation one, which is whatever.
I think
But-
Rebuild the Galaxy was the best one. It was so cute.
I don't even count Rebuild the Galaxy. That's in its own league. I really
Yeah.
love Rebuild the Galaxy. I still
Yeah.
haven't seen the second one, but the first one is still really good. Like that
Yeah.
is Tony Revolori is like so good as Darth Dev. I love him so much.
It was a great throwback to when we still got Lego movies. You know?
Yeah, it
you know-
makes me really wish that we still got Lego movies. I think that as much as I do like the animation style of the films, I wish that they did go all out with that Lego movie aesthetic. And I know they can't because
expensive.
that's really expensive for a Disney Plus show. But I would have that would have been really cool to see that, and it makes me wish that we would get more stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't know what we have until we lose it.
True. Yeah. It makes me. Yeah, I feel bad as well for the Lego films because with I can pinpoint the exact moment they started to like lose people's interests, and that was the Lego Ninja. Yeah,
Ninjago.
I forgot.
mind you,
forgot to say that.
I've only, as somebody who has seen at least 6 seasons of that show, I do like the Lego Ninjago movie. I don't think I definitely think it's the weakest of the 4. It's got a lot of like amazing moments that had me dying laughing in the theater, but there's parts of it where it's like it's trying to be a parody of Ninjago instead of like. I think that was the problem, is that a lot of people don't know Ninjago the way they know things like Batman and Star Wars and whatnot. Kids do, obviously, but most people probably don't know who fucking Lord Garmadon is compared to Darth Vader. So while it's a movie with a lot of great elements to it, and I think there's some of it that genuinely, again, really funny and really good, and it continues the Lego movies theme of like father-son relationships and family dynamics with Lloyd and Garmadon, and I think that's the strength of the movie. But as a result, a lot of the other characters are just jokes or side characters in the film. They're not like in the first movie with like Unikitty and Lucy and stuff. Like I like Zane and Jay are great. Kai is just there. Cole and Nia, I'm just like, I barely remember anything about them, even though they're really
Cole,
good.
Nia, and Kai, I think have like collectively 3 lines together. In that
Yeah,
film.
and that's the thing, when they parody the characters right, it's funny. Like Zane speaking in the like robotic voice because he is a robot, like that's funny if you know the show.
I actually wasn't a huge fan of that. I kind of I don't know. I feel like they they flanderized the character a little bit, only because like I like Zane in the show because he is a robot, but he's not like one-dimensional. I think if he had an arc aside from I'm a robot, I would have been fine with it. But I think the fact that that's all his character is
Yeah,
annoyed me a bit.
that is the one
Great
thing.
flanker.
Right, that's the thing with the movie. Garmadon and Lloyd are the only ones with arcs. Everybody else is just a side character, and that is, I think, the film that for me, I think, is what made a lot of people lose interest in the Lego movies. Is that Ninjago? It just didn't punch like even the Lego Batman movie. Like fucking Joker and Barbara technically had like a lot more character in that, and like
Everyone in that movie had a lot going for them. Lego Batman was really good.
And
He's the
then
best one.
and then unfortunately, I think because Ninjago was lackluster compared to the last two, Lego Movie 2, even though I do really like that movie and think it has a lot of good stuff, it just didn't hit the same. It just wasn't hitting for people anymore like it used to. And they just
I don't think it should have been a musical, honestly. I feel like the music didn't really service the story as much as it could have.
Yeah.
I think only like a couple. I like the earworm song. That one was pretty funny because like that kind of like had a purpose within the story, but the rest I wasn't really a fan of.
Yeah, it's like for every second the movie does something that's like, oh, this is really great for the story. It does something that's a little like with the songs, for example, the first villain song from like Queen Whatever Wannabe I think is really good and funny and fits what they're going for with the story. I think the second one where they're just making Batman jokes, it's funny, but it's like not super narratively relevant.
I actually really like Gotham City Guys. That's actually a really good song.
Yeah,
that's
I
like
agree.
The one I remember.
I think it's a really good song too. I just felt like it hit weirder in context of the plot. I think it's because of the Lego Batman movie where Batman had his own shit go on over there, and then he's back with the main crew, and I'm just like, huh, okay, things feel a little different now, but I'm okay with it.
Oh, what up? Cobalt's in the chat. What up, gamer?
Hey,
Cobalt.
Anyway,
also, Tough Luck brings up something. The last Lego movie I saw in theater was Piece by Piece. I have not seen that one. That was theatrically released.
Is that the one with Pharrell Williams?
Yeah, it's the Pharrell Williams movie.
I've wanted to watch it. I just didn't see it in theaters, and I
didn't watch it.
It was like it was made on Blender.
I saw the trailer and I was like, I know nothing about music. I don't need to see this.
The last one I saw was Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
That's
it took me a second. No, that was good. The Lego cameo was really funny.
Sorry to derail the conversation into a Lego movie one, but
how did we get from Star Wars to Lego movies?
Because they made Lego Star Wars movies, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyways,
to be fair, you also make Lego customs, so it is. Yeah. Like, I have a Lego PFP right now because we forgot to change it from the Kenobi rewrite. So there is some.
Well,
chat. If you don't know, me and Kevin did a stream with Joe on their channel about Kenobi rewrite, and we kind of acted out the characters. My mic is terrible in that one, but go ahead. They are awesome in that.
Yeah. What? Oh my god. Yeah, I just remembered Joe's little Leia voice and how we just could not stop laughing at first.
I'm never speaking to any of you guys ever.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Gosh.
No, it's okay.
One thing that baffles me about Bob Iger is that like in this whole thing, he says he didn't see how Kylo Ren could return.
You lack imagination.
May I remind you, this is the same cunt who approved this.
And it confirms the worst. Somehow Palpatine returned.
That is true.
And confirmed it. He said, I think this is a good idea. Let's move forward with it. We'll give you all $500 million to make this movie.
I do think it's funny because it's like, yeah, that's why we have a movie to explain it. Like, that's why we have a movie, my friend.
I mean, they were kind of like a cloning, dark side magic, secrets only the Sith knew. But like, elaborate, please.
What did you expect? And the thing is, I can agree with that. However, it's like you said no for the wrong reason. If they said no, we think it would be a good idea if you just end Ben's story the way it did end. But the fact that they're like, it doesn't make sense. And also I have a very sneaking suspicion that there's a lot more to why they canceled it. I think that there is something a little more disturbing happening up in Disney's HQ, and I would love to rant. I just don't want to derail the conversation and be like the only person talking. So once we get our thoughts out,
Yeah.
I would like to say what my thoughts are, but I want to make sure everyone gets the chance to speak.
I mean, yeah, I only have like one more like thought to state before like you can say what you want about it, and then we can
Okay,
move on
yeah.
to the next topic. The thing is, like, I can think of like off the top of my head 3 ways that Ben could come back that could make sense. This is going to be in my video I'm making later, but
Mhm.
like the way that I'm thinking of it is like the first one is like a search for Spock kind of outline. I don't know if you guys watch the Star Trek movies. I'm a big Star Trek guy.
Nah, I'm not a nerd.
I don't dislike Star Trek. I'm just not into it. I know family members who are, but I'm not a Trekkie.
Right. So spoilers for the 50-year-old movies. In Star Trek II: Wrath of Khan, Spock gives up his life to save the Enterprise and
That I
defeat
do know.
Khan. And like at the end, there's a heartbreaking goodbye between Spock, Kirk, and Bones. And then like his body is like attached to this thing called the Genesis device that creates like new planets. And that's where he has his funeral, like on this new planet that's created. But the Genesis device kind of rebirthed his body back from when he was a baby all the way up to the age where he was born. Am I losing you guys so far?
No, I understand it. Yeah.
All right. Like, and before he dies, like when he says goodbye to Bones, he knocks him out and does this thing called mind melding, where like he puts his mind, he like mind rapes him.
Oh, jeez.
What the hell? What? Okay.
That's the only way I can say it, because like he's possessed for the rest of the movie.
I think
Why
mind
not
meld.
just say mind control?
I think my merge is okay.
I don't know.
Why did you have to word it like that?
I'm sorry.
That was so like okay.
Okay, but like, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I was caught off guard. I was like, oh goodness, we're going there. Okay.
Yeah. And the plot of like Search for Spock is that like Kirk's son is on this Genesis planet and they find him. And the plot is they have to steal the Enterprise, fight the Klingons to get back to Genesis to save Spock. And like it takes them like destroying the Enterprise for it to happen. And how I think it would work in this movie is like maybe one of the maybe the cloning facility survived at the end of the battle, and like the Sith cultists are like, Ben Solo is all we have, let's clone him. I don't know how they get DNA off of him. But anyways, like they clone him, he goes mad, tries to contact like Ray, Finn, and Poe, and on their journey back to Exegol, I'm so sorry, I'm stuttering.
It's okay. You don't have to apologize for that. It's fine.
Sorry, Ray, Finn, and Poe are arguing on whether they should save him, causing like a split in the group.
Mm-hmm.
Like with them reconciling but Kylo needs to make a strong case for atonement and redemption. I think it could be like a 2-parter movie in a way.
You think it would be like he just walks up to them and just hands them a note and it just says like "Sorry" on it?
Not necessarily.
It's like, oh, he's got my vote.
Like the Ray movie, like where like he has to atone for what he's done.
So
I think it would that can take up a movie and then like it would end with him being forgiven and then that could set up like a future where Ben has the stage again. But
yeah,
I don't know. I just really like his sacrifice at the end of Rise. I love the idea of Ben finishing what his grandfather started, but it's not Vader, it's Anakin. Like Anakin says, I will find a way to stop people from dying, and Kylo finds exactly that. He finds
that is true, yeah.
However, it isn't that he does it out of selfishness the way Anakin was obsessed with protecting Padme because he couldn't live without her. He needed Padme. Kylo did it because he loved Rey. He did it knowing he was going to die, but he did it anyway because he loves her. He did it out of love for her, not love and like a need to survive for himself. And I thought that was really beautiful. And I just don't want them to go back on that because I think that like already we have a lot of really great sacrifices in Star Wars that have been undone. I think that like IG-11 sacrifice and Mando is really great. I don't know if I agree with them bringing him back in Mando twice.
Yeah, I think that was weird that they used his body for like an exosuit for Grogu.
That was fine, only
It-
because they
I mean-
basically used completely new parts. Like,
Yeah.
if you look, it's a lot of it is basically just completely new pieces. The only thing that was the same is the head. Because like all that survived was the chassis and one arm. But then when you look, the arm is different and the chassis is different, meaning the only thing they used was the head. So a lot of it was new. So it's like Ship of Theseus, like what is actually IG-11. But then you got Ventress, who I also liked her sacrifice. I don't know if they needed to bring her back.
I mean, like with Ventress, she already had her like atonement arc in the Dark Disciple
Yeah.
novel.
Exactly. And
Like, she
also
already
Cobb
redeemed
Vanth, I
shit.
thought his death was great because it established Cad Bane as a threat.
Yeah.
But the fact that they brought him back, it kind of is like, well, then what exactly did Cad Bane do?
Wait. Cobb Vanth came back.
Oh yeah, and the post-credit scene for Boba Fett.
There was a post-credit scene for book. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait,
Are
are you
well,
like
let me-
doing a bit right now, or did you
No,
not?
I'm just now learning this. I did not know.
There was at the end of Book of Boba, there was a post-credit scene, and Cobb Vanth is in Boba's bacta tank.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. I am pulling
Yeah,
it up
I
right
actually-
now. So you
I
can
didn't-
watch
I
it.
don't know if I remember. I don't know if I remember this now or not. I need to see this. Hold on.
Hold on, I
And then
am
it's like
putting
it
it up
pans
right
over to
now.
one of the mods, and he like takes out like a welding torch, implying that he's gonna like
Like weld them
upgrade
back
Cobb-
together.
He's gonna which like he got stabbed in the shoulder. I don't know if he's gonna need anything that advanced.
The doctor is going to rebuild him in the cave with a box of scraps. Here it is.
Okay. I mean, yeah, like you said, he got shot in the chest. I don't think he needs like Fennec cybernetics.
Yeah.
Well, not even the chest. It was like the shoulder. Like unless they hit an artery, and they need to replace that with a robot artery. But at the same time, like I'm not even joking.
Robot
Like if he
artery.
needs a replacement artery, like which I
A plank
would
artery.
I can suspend my disbelief that that exists, but then it's like, okay, but then at that point, what exactly did Cad Bane accomplish?
Right.
Because I like his first appearance coming in and then killing Cobb Vanth, establishing him as a threat because he's a quicker draw. I think I like that the whole point of bringing back Cobb Vanth is like Chekhov's like unholstering time. But like it's just I don't know, it's a weird it's a very weird cop out because Cobb Vanth hasn't returned. So there's nothing, they haven't
Yeah.
paid that off yet.
Yeah, he might return in the Mando movie, but
I don't think
I
it's
don't
gonna
think it will.
happen. I feel like right now they're like trying to distance themselves from Book of Boba Fett because Boba's not in the movie and Fennec aren't in it.
yeah.
So- Huh?
Okay, I'm gonna put this in the chat because I saw Joe on social media posting about it. Hashtag make Boba season 2. Just putting that
Oh
in the
no,
chat.
here we go.
No,
Oh yeah, I made a poster for that and everything.
yeah.
But I don't know. I'm just I don't know. As much as I like Cobb Vanth, he's a really great character, and Timothy Olyphant is a wonderful, wonderful actor. I love him in Scream. I love him in Alien Earth. However, I just don't. I don't know if I agree with bringing him back unless they
Yeah.
give him his
Maybe-
own Mando armor. I think that would be pretty cool.
Oh, that'd be fun. Yeah, I'd be
'Cause
up
he-
for that.
I could see the armorer recruiting him on the watch and being like, you can be an honorary Mandalorian, and he could get like his own set of armor. Like that would be because I feel like he earned it. Like I think him and Mayfeld especially earn it. Like that'd be fun. But the issue is that I don't think they're gonna be touching the Book of Boba Fett characters. Like Boba, obviously, I have a lot of love for Tamir Morrison, and I've gotten the chance to speak with him, and he's told me that they are purposefully ghosting him, and he wants the people at Disney to know. He's literally said that to me. We need to let Disney know. And Ming-Na Wen, aside from her like one episode in Bad Batch season 3, that's pretty much all she's had. But I don't think we're gonna see Fennec soon, which is a shame. Like Chrysanthemum, the hot mods, like we're not gonna see them, unfortunately. And I love Chrysanthemum. I love Sophie Thatcher. I'm like one of 3 people on Earth who actually likes Drash in the Book of Boba Fett. My goth awakening, but I can't get over my love for Sophie Thatcher. I don't care if the speeder bike chase was bad. It was still she's still a wonderful actress.
Fair.
Yeah, I'm not a simp. But
hey, it's all
I don't
good.
know. It's just it's stuff like that where it's like, why did Ben Solo need to come back to life? What was the point of killing him in the first place?
I mean,
Right.
Because this was in development right after Rise of Skywalker came out.
2 years actually.
Huh?
It was in development 2 years afterwards.
Okay, but my point still stands. Like that's
Relatively, yeah,
2021.
that is
Ben
true.
Solo would have only been dead for 2 years. Like, what would like Ventress was at least dead for what, like nearly a decade.
Yeah.
Like that's something. Like Palpatine was a good like nearly 40 years. Like with Ben, it was like, what's the point of killing him off if you were just gonna bring him back 2 years later? And I understand that they weren't planning on making the hunt for Ben Solo. Like that wasn't in their head, but that goes back to maybe you should have planned ahead. Like maybe you should have had a plan. So I'm still very conflicted. I have a friend who loves Ben Solo, and they're very, very upset that the movie got canceled. And as much as I love them, I'm still very conflicted on how to feel about this because it's still a very mixed bag. Because people are saying the story sounds really great, and I don't think that's enough, unfortunately. I think that just because the story sounds really good does not mean it will be good in execution. I think that Book of Boba sounds cool in concept. The Kenobi show sounds cool in concept. If you told me on paper Darth Vader comes back and Obi-Wan has to fight him in a rematch, I would have been like, that sounds really cool. However, obviously Kenobi, it does not utilize its fullest potential, and like a lot of Star Wars shows and movies don't do that. So I think just saying the story sounds really good, I don't think that's enough.
I kind of agree. I think maybe that's part of why I'm a little hesitant to accept this, because while I like Ben's character, I've been burned by this sort of stuff before where I was like, okay, I'm open to this. Like, okay, Boba Fett being a Tatooine crime lord, like basically taking over the place that was supposed to be his doom in Return of the Jedi. Like, that sounds fucking cool. I wish I liked the show more than I did by the end. Or like, no offense to Book of Boba Fett fans, like I totally get the appeal. I was just, I like a third of it, but the other 2/3 just annoy me. Also,
you annoy me.
I mean, vice versa. Anyway, with where the fuck was I building to at this point? With Kenobi, that's another thing. I didn't hate the idea of Kenobi and Vader having a rematch like some people.
Me neither.
I just didn't think Kenobi was that great by the end. Like, I thought it was okay for the first half, but then the final half happened, and I was just like, aside from that Darth Vader Reva fight, it just wasn't for me.
I think like half of episode 5, half of episode 6, and episode 3 were fine. I think that was the only
for me. For me, I didn't hate the first 3 episodes. I was just like, these definitely exist. With the exception of the Grand Inquisitor stuff, I'm still not gonna be like, oh, that was secretly fantastic. I'm like, no,
you were better, Grand Inquisitor.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then also another thing I've noticed, this is something, and not to derail away from Star Wars, but this is something I've also noticed with fucking Marvel as well, where a lot of my least anticipated projects become some of the ones that I like the most, and some of my favorites end up being my disappointing in the current age. So like when Phase 4 was first announced, I was most excited for The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, because at the time the Cap trilogy was my favorite movies. Yeah. And then What If, because it's an animated MCU storyline, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so ready for this. And at the time, my least anticipated projects were Hawkeye, not because I don't like Hawkeye. I love I will always defend Hawkeye. Fuck anybody that says Hawkeye was never cool. But I didn't know enough about Kate Bishop at the time, and I just didn't see like the vision because they had so little announced for it. And then there was, Eternals, which most people weren't excited for. And I'm not going to make this all about Eternals. I want to focus more on Hawkeye because I don't talk about Hawkeye enough. But yeah, but then come 2021, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier is a show I love at first, but then the more I think about it, the more I'm like, damn it, I'm in a love-hate relationship with it. The first Okairo on YouTube, we had to talk about this once on Twitter, where I'm like, what the sequels mean to you is what Falcon and the Winter Soldier means to me. I'm as satisfied by it as I am disappointed by it, essentially. I kind of feel that way about Force Awakens in certain aspects. And then What If was What If. I haven't even finished season 2 or 3 yet. I want to, just to see what
I never watched season 2 or 3.
I want to see what bullshit they get up to. And to be fair, season 2 is off to a better start than season 1, I think. But
I stopped watching when they tried to make baby Star-Lord the villain.
Yeah, I thought that was at least fun because it was like a 90s Avengers team with whoever they could scrounge up. But I've heard shit like regarding Howard the Duck and Captain Carter where I'm just like, really? This is what we're getting instead of like, what if Gore killed all the gods, or what if Talokan and Wakanda were in World War II? Like, seriously?
That video game though.
But then
Haley Atwell must have some dirt on Kevin Feige.
Right.
He's like,
dude, to put in perspective, fucking Kumail Nanjiani, who played Kingo, he was given a contract of like 6 movies in a video game.
6?
He's only shown up in Eternals and a single episode of What If, where he has like a Hollywood fight with Agatha, which is what the fuck?
Is like Feige just like some sort of fucking con man at this point?
I don't know. Between that and the Blade movie getting constantly delayed, like.
That movie's never coming out.
I know, right?
He's the king of fucking blue balling his actors. I swear to God,
so the point I was building to, though, is that meanwhile, toward the end of the year, when I was starting to feel like questioning about my love toward Marvel, thankfully comes in clutch is Eternals, a movie I liked more than I expected, and I've grown to appreciate more. And then Hawkeye, a show that I just really like. I think Hawkeye is one of the better Disney. It's not perfect. What it does to Kingpin is messy, obviously. And was the start of a lot of problems with like the Netflix characters coming back. But I like a lot of what it does, and I love Kate Bishop. She's one of my new favorite additions to the MCU. So I like Hawkeye a lot. And then No Way Home.
Kate Bishop is Pookie. I love Kate Bishop.
Yeah, and then No Way Home came out after, but I was already hyped. Well, I figured I'd like it. I just wouldn't like it as much, and then I liked it more than expected. Anyway, back to Star Wars. I bring all this up because one of my least anticipated Star Wars projects for a while, Skeleton Crew, a show that I just wasn't that excited for because for a while, yes, I agree. Because for a while, we just didn't fucking know anything about it. We didn't know what the show was going to be. All we had was that one screenshot of Jude Law from some sizzle reel for a while. That's
all we need.
Right, but then the trailers came out, and I was like, okay, this looks kind of fun. And then the show came out, and yeah, aside from the slightly lackluster ending of the finale, I liked it a lot, and I appreciated. I was like, finally, we're getting a Star Wars standalone story that acknowledges stuff from other movies, but isn't defined by them, and does stuff I like, and has given me some of my new favorite Star Wars characters, and some moments I still adore, like the whole scene of, I've said this before I think in another stream, but like the whole scene of Wim helping KB literally stop dying is like one of the most tense things I've watched from Star Wars, because I like these characters and I didn't know where it was going to go, and so that's on the one hand, like and honestly, that's why, even though I know nothing about it and I don't really care about it right now, I do hope something similar kind of happens with that fucking Ryan Gosling Starfighter movie they're supposedly making. I hope that I get more excited about that as I hear more about it, because I want to be. The same thing kind of happened with Andor. I didn't hate Cassian Andor in Rogue One. I just felt he was kind of there at first. But then obviously the show came out and it was as good as it was. And man, rewatching Rogue One after Andor, it elevated it to like one of my top. For a while, Andor is like Rogue One's been in my top 10 for Star Wars films. It got bumped to like my top 5 or 3 after that post Andor rewatch. Because I remembered, oh yeah, I like this movie a lot, and it's made even better now by this fucking show. So like, I in this case with the Ben Solo thing, I think I'm kind of hesitant to be excited about it because I've done this before, where I hear about a spin-off project coming with a character I like, but I've been burned by those before. So I don't know. But then again, I've also enjoyed some of those instances. Like, I'm excited for the Vision Quest show for Marvel because I like White Vision and I want to see him again. I've been
whitewashed Vision.
I prefer Mad the Kid's nickname for him, Cum Man.
Ew.
Yeah, I know. Gross. I know, but that's one.
But you bring up a good point, like of like characters that like you wouldn't really pay much attention to becoming some of the best stories, while like the popular ones.
Yeah,
But I feel like this movie would be an interesting in between because not a lot of people like the sequels, but a lot of people like Kylo Ren.
True.
So I feel like it's kind of like 50-50, like a double-edged sword in a way.
Yeah, actually, oh yeah, real quick. Sorry to derail again, but since we're talking about like, sequel stuff and like larger universe stuff and Sith and all that, I know Kylo's not Sith. He has a fucking red lightsaber. He's on the dark side. It's fine to mistake it sometimes. Okay. Anyway, but I just remembered this. So while we were talking, I briefly had the thought of like, could they tie this Ben Solo film into whatever would happen with Baylan in Ahsoka season 2? But then I remembered, oh yeah, Ray Stevenson's dead, and we don't know how they're gonna handle that.
They just recasted him though.
Oh, they did.
Yeah, they got the guy from his friend from Game of Thrones, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay,
Roy McCann will be playing him in Ahsoka season 2.
Okay, that's good to hear. I'm glad they're not doing deep fake shit.
No, they're not.
That's good. Well, so anyway, because of that, I was looking up like Baylan. I was just looking at Baylan clips in another tab because I will say, honestly, my favorite scene in Ahsoka, it sounds weird, but one of my favorite scenes in Ahsoka honestly might be just the scene where he and Shin are talking about like the cycles of the Jedi and the Empire and how he wanted to break that. I'm like, that was what finally hooked me on his character. Like, I didn't hate him. I liked him, but I was like, okay, what are they going to do with you? What's your point? And then we got to that scene and I was like, oh, I'm actually really interested in this show now more than I was before. And I want to see his story get resolved. I want to know what it means with like the Mortis gods and all that, and what he thinks would be breaking the cycle. I will say, I'm not going to say they need to do a gray Jedi thing, because I know the whole gray Jedi thing is super fucking contentious, apparently, because God forbid we have something in the middle. I know there's different perspectives, right? Some people see the light and dark side is equal. So apparently George says no, the dark side is just the bad version, and then the good side is that balance. And it's like, okay,
both sides who are wrong, actually. Both sides could be wrong.
In either case, I want to know what they're going to do with him and his character. So I was looking up clips, but as I'm scrolling, I'm noticing, those kinds of Star Wars videos where they're like, blank this, how blank was created for the show, or like why did Baylan do this, or what does this mean, where will they go? And I keep, every now and then as I scroll, I see a thumbnail that's like that says something like, Shin, like Baylan feared Shin's power, or like I'm looking at one right now that has Shin, but she's edited to have like, for lack of a better term, a horror movie face. Like
she's Abeloth. That's what people think.
Okay, Shin's Abeloth?
Okay, so you do know about that. Explain that to me. What is Abeloth? I don't know.
Okay, I know about this. So in Legends, like like, so the Clone Wars is not canon to the Legends timeline. However, they
Yes.
still bring up the Mortis arc. And like I think it's the X-Wing books series. They introduced this character named Abeloth, who like at the very end they retcon her to being like the mother and like the father son daughter thing.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's like they kind of like hype her up as like a Lovecraftian type of villain that they need to take down.
Interesting. So, okay, now here's my question though. Why the fuck do people think Shin is Abeloth? Is it just because?
You see, there's a very good reason for that. I don't know.
Okay, so it's very like superficial. People just think in the books Abeloth had short blonde hair and Shin's like haircut is identical. So people are like,
I think not.
oh,
So-
a white girl with short blonde hair. It must be Abeloth.
So basically, it's the superhero fan casting approach to deciding if someone's a character or not.
Yes.
Like blonde
It's like
woman.
It's like when Star Wars Theory kept hyping up the idea that Mace Windu is Finn's father.
That's really funny.
Oh my god, that's dumb. That's funny, but it's like the fucking people that like fan cast like, well, Tom Holland is white and has somewhat short hair. Yeah, Ben 10. Why not? They're totally the same
Marty
thing.
McFly is white with brown hair. Marty McFly.
Right. And Robert Downey Jr. as Doc Brown because
That deepfake is so freaky. I thought that was
Robert Downey Jr. should be Dr. Doom. Oh wait.
yeah. Oh my gosh. I think in that case, I think I agree with you. That sounds very superficial because no offense to Shin, like her actor or anything. I'm just gonna say it. Even compared to just Balin, who I think is a good character, but doesn't have a ton going for him either yet. I don't get Shin yet.
But she's hot.
I know, but I don't understand like
Ukrainian woman.
I don't get what the point of her character is beyond just a apprentice to the master.
I do think that is going to be the point, that Shin is very much just Balin's shadow and she just follows him around. I think that's going to be something they're going to play with. Because I was saying,
or like she does get with Sabine. Like, remember that tweet from like Bryce, the interview from?
No, I
Bryce
talked with
Howard?
her. I talked with her about that at Comic-Con. So, Kevin? Did you hear about the romantic thing that Bryce Dallas Howard said at a con?
No.
Yeah, she talked about her episode of Ahsoka, the one she's directing, being described as romantic.
She's like, "Oh, it's amazing, it's breathtaking, it's romantic," and people were like, "Shin and Sabine are getting together because she used the word romantic."
Okay, so people don't know what romanticize means, or that romanticize can be outside a romantic context.
To be fair, I didn't know that either.
When I went up to her at Comic-Con, I met her at New York Comic-Con. I said, "Oh, I'm excited for your Ahsoka episodes," and I said, "You used the word romantic." I'm like, "What do you mean by that?" And she looked at me with wide eyes and she went, "I used romantic? I said romantic?" And she started panicking. She's like, "I didn't." She's like, "I meant to say like cinematic." She's like, "That's not what I meant." She's like, I didn't mean like, I meant it in like the thematic sense. She's like, "That's not what I meant."
Right.
She's like, "Joe." She's like, "No one." And she's like, "Joey, look at me." She's like, "No one is kissing in Ahsoka season 2. I promise you."
Oh my gosh, that's great. That's a great reaction.
I feel bad for her because all the Wolf Friend stans are like already like hooked on what she's saying. So when they watch that show and now like it's gonna be revealed that Shin and Sabine are not, people are gonna get mad.
I will say, as somebody who sees literally no chemistry between Sabine and Shin, or can't remember any if there was at all, I will say, haven't heard the name Wolf Ren before, but that is a badass ship name. So I'll give
Wolf. Wait, what is that?
You said Wolf Ren, or one of you did. Something,
No. What did you? Why did you know? No one just put something on the screen.
Does she know, like the Riddler thumbnail thing?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, what?
Why does he have locks though? Why does he have locks?
Oh, I was in a different tab. I didn't even see that.
Oh no! When I said what, I was talking to the.
It was in reference to Bryce Dallas Howard knowing about the Wolf Friend and stuff.
No, yeah.
She's like, "Oh my god, did I say romantic?"
she.
Oh, interesting. Okay, wait, hold on a second. I just want to address this real quick. Someone in chat just said, or the comments said, the Vision Quest trailer stole the show to me when I saw it at the NYC Marvel TV panel. Okay, good. That's great to hear. I'm excited now then, because knowing somebody saw it, I'm ready for the show when they can.
Do Vision and Ultron kiss a little bit?
Well, no, they've described the Vision and Ultron shit as like a father-son type weird thing going on.
Wait, what? No, I was joking. Wait, what?
Craig Mazin? Did Craig Mazin write this?
Yeah, I know you're joking, but they're apparently they're kind of gonna work. They're gonna, as they explore Vision's identity and like kind of human, like go over the other like AI stuff within Marvel, that not like Gen AI, but like the AI characters.
Yeah.
They're going to explore like the creator creation dynamic, since Ultron technically created Vision in a way. I know there's more steps to it than that, but there's at the very least, even if the show isn't good, Ultron's going to be dropping bars, because we know one line that came out of the trailer was, "You're a ghost haunting your own footsteps." I'm ready for more James Spader Ultron. I don't give a fuck if people found him disappointing.
I like the line where he's like,
No strings.
I forgot what the exact quote was, but something he's like, they discovered the strongest metal on Earth and they used it to make a frisbee, like something like that.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to hear "It's Vision time" and then proceed to Mind Stone all over the screen.
Oh no, I'm trying to,
Oh, Ahsoka season 2's cinematography and color grading will be improved. Was there something about?
She also said that. She said that Ahsoka's color grading is going to be improved.
I'm very happy about that. Oh my gosh. I don't.
It's like the most boring ass planet ever. Like, I expect this whole other galaxy to be like something we've never seen before, and it's
honestly,
just like fucking Cape Cod.
Honestly, I'm not even. I'm not even gonna lie. I didn't hate like the other galaxy. I mean, I'm biased for Cloudy Days, so that's part of it. But I kind of liked the creepy, desolate feel of it, and like the shady. I think the reason I liked it so much is because it was nice to see a new world where it's like, okay, I like the kind of the shadows of the unknown feel it has going for it, versus, God, taking one. I know the Rebels animation style is not for everybody. It has its weird moments. I personally like both thick lightsabers and thin rapier lightsabers, so I'm one of those weird people. But one thing I will say what you will about Rebels, it had color. Compare Lothal and Rebels to Lothal and Ahsoka. I'm sorry. I don't care if these characters are somehow better in live action. Lothal looks worse in live action than it did in animation. And I hate the fact that these Disney Plus shows can prove they can color grade stuff in cool ways, but just don't choose to, because Dave Filoni, I don't know what it is with all these Star Wars shows where they act like, oh, we got to be dusty and dry and gray all the time. It's like,
Andor has the same color scheme as most of these shows, and it makes it work. It makes it colorful. It's beautiful to look at.
It's probably because Andor doesn't really do fucking desert planets half the time. That's the thing.
Well, because Andor's a depressing show, so it works. Ahsoka's not depressing.
Right.
It's an action-adventure show.
And that's the other thing. I know the whole point of the Star Wars cartoons, like the Tales series, I know a lot of those episodes are meant to showcase how the Empire is making the galaxy worse. And when you make the world worse, that means pollution and dry landscapes and dead trees and stuff. I get it. But with exceptions like Corvus in Mandalorian, I think a lot of this stuff is starting to get kind of boring to me in animation. This is the other reason I thought Tales of the Underworld was just a show that existed, because the environments, I just found them so fucking boring. It was just Coruscant and another desert planet. Even Cad Bane's home, it was slightly better, but it just it got so bright and dry and deserty by the end, which I don't want to be too angry about, because Cad Bane is like the cowboy bounty hunter in Star Wars in terms of vibe. So he
does need a desert. Like, he does kind of need a desert.
My take is, if you're Star Wars, you're partly made by ILM, right? ILM made Rango. It should not be easy. It should not be this hard for you guys to make deserts more interesting in the future. I don't know. If we're gonna keep being stuck on these dry worlds with sand and ash, like I want Rango quality, and I just don't think we've gotten a ton of that with these newer Star Wars cartoons.
Well, I don't think Ahsoka's using the volume because they're shooting in the UK.
Interesting.
So
Okay.
Yeah, that is a pretty wet and miserable place.
So, well,
No disrespect to my UK pros.
So I don't know, because it may be that unless they packed up the volume and took it with them, I don't know if they can do that though.
Just pick
I
up
would
the
assume
run.
no, but they most likely did not take the volume from LA with them to the UK to shoot.
Who's to say they didn't build an entirely new one there?
I
That's
don't know.
possible.
I don't think is that possible that they can just build another one? Like
Maybe
it sounds like there's only one volume that Disney has.
one volume, like
There's a reason it's
there's a
called
lot
The
of-
Volume.
I mean, a lot of movies like and shows are using the volume now. Like the Batman is using the volume. Superman used the volume. Peacemaker used the volume. Unless they're all like taking turns with it. Like, I
Well,
don't
those
see-
are different companies though. Like I think Disney only has like one. Like I know like Final Destination had a volume, but
Yeah, I know.
at the same
28
time,
Years Later had one too.
yeah. So like yeah, I don't know. I'm a little I think Ahsoka's gonna look good. But no, someone said I was correct, they didn't use the volume. Okay. The one thing I wanted to quickly talk about was I wanted to bring up why the Ben Solo movie got canceled. Is it okay if I
Yeah,
of
go
course.
for it.
And
Go
then,
on.
like, yeah, like that's what it.
I only
I
had one other.
tangent. Like after
I
thoughts.
only had like one other thing I wanted to mention, but it can wait. It probably won't be too long of a discussion. I was just gonna say, like, if they do the Ben Solo movie, could we see Ben? Would it be dumb? Okay, would it be too fan servicey and dumb if we saw like Force Ghost Ben do something involving Mortis? Would that be dumb if written?
No, probably not.
It
Okay.
fit pretty well.
To be fair, episode 9 was going to do it. Okay, so it's
I mean,
kind
the
of
Colin Trevorrow script. That's something I think. I know Joe doesn't like the Colin Trevorrow script. They mentioned that to me. But one thing I think would have worked was the thing where like Luke haunts Kylo Ren. That's something that I kind of liked.
yeah, that I thought was a good idea from that script. I want to love the part of it where Rey is like, I am the light and the dark, or whatever she says. I kind of like that idea of a force. I like the idea of a Star Wars trilogy ending with a force sensitive character trying to have it both ways. I think that sounds compelling. I just don't know how to feel about it in context of Rey. I don't think it would work thematically with the sequel trilogy. If both sides of the war had good and bad aspects to it, I'd be like, oh, that'd be a really interesting way to cap it off, and metaphorically and thematically. The problem is the First Order is literally just the Empire 2.0, and both are heavily inspired by authoritarianism in real life, like Nazis. So
You can't both sides it. Andor, like for example, does not both sides the war. They say like the Empire's bad.
exactly.
They make it clear that the rebellion has issues, but they also say that does not change the fact that the Empire is undisputably worse.
Exactly. So I think while I like the idea of a character like Rey trying to balance the light and the dark side and the issues that would come from that, even if it ended in failure, I'd still think it'd be interesting. It's just, yeah, in context of the trilogy, it'd be thematically weird of like, just take away Kylo and who, fuck. Had they leaned more into Finn and the defecting of the stormtroopers and stuff, maybe it could have made a bit more sense.
Yeah.
Possibly.
I don't know. I'm rambling. You go off, Joe. Go off.
Okay.
Joe.
So I am of the suspicion that the Ben Solo movie was not canceled because they said it doesn't make sense how Ben Solo is alive. I think their reasoning is most likely they were not confident in a sequel trilogy movie being passed off. And that is because of how essentially Star Wars is being run as if it's a committee. And I don't agree with that because obviously it goes, the prequels were unpopular at first. So they said, we're going to distance ourselves from the prequel trilogy and focus on these sequels. And then the sequels weren't doing great. So they said, okay, we're not going to touch the sequels for a while. Then The spin-off movies don't land. Okay, we're not doing spin-off movies anymore. Then we go to The Mandalorian. Okay, streaming is doing well. We're going to start, like, milking out our streaming shows, including Kenobi, which was going to be a spin-off movie, but we're going to make that a show now. Then, streaming is dead. We can't do that anymore. So we're actually just not going to touch any more Disney Plus shows. Let's actually take our flagship characters and just push them into their own movie. So I guess movies are back on the table now. Like, it reads as if they're making this up as they go based on what is popular at the moment, and more importantly, what is not popular. Like, the minute something gets pushed back, they drop it. That's why Book of Boba Fett got canceled. That's why we haven't seen Reva in a while. That's why Solo did not get a follow-up. It always reads as if these characters are only around because they're popular, and I don't agree with that. I think that, for example, we wouldn't have gotten as far as we did with Ahsoka if they just dropped her after the Clone Wars movie.
Yeah.
Because people didn't like Ahsoka. However, they continued working on her, and after a while, she became one of the best Star Wars characters, and she's now at a point where we wouldn't have gotten some of the best stories if it weren't for her redemption.
Right.
So, at the same time, though, like, I don't think Ben needed to come back because I don't think Ben was in need of redemption. But, like, that's also why I think, like, we should bring back Rey. We should bring back maybe, like, Rose or something, and Finn, absolutely. But that is my suspicion, that they were not confident in a movie revolving around the sequel trilogy succeeding, so they denied it. That's why I think they did it.
I'm gonna say something, Joe. Like, I 100% agree, but what was I gonna say? Yes, it is a very reactionary way to run Star Wars, but it's something like most like big franchises have been doing, like filmmaking nowadays. So, yeah, it really breaks my heart, honestly.
Yeah, I agree with you though. I am open for, as much as I, get on some pieces of Star Wars for like, why are you telling me this in a piece of media that should have been in this other character story thing? I do like when they take characters that I'm not the biggest fan of at first, but then do something interesting. Like, I've said this before. One of the reasons I really liked Tales of the Empire is because I like the character of Lynn was just randomly she was just, and maybe I'm wrong about this, but in terms of the shows, she just showed up in the Kenobi series among these other Inquisitors.
That's true.
And I'm just like, who the fuck is this? Who, and why is she here if she's not going to say anything? Like, you could have just put Seventh Sister there at that rate. Mind you, it'd be dumb either way, because Seventh Sister is a chatterbox, so it'd be even dumber. Like, why is she not speaking less? Like, why is she speaking less than everyone else? But
also, she's a canonical pedophile. So,
yeah.
The point is, with that shit, it's like. When I saw that, I was like, okay, we're focusing on this Inquisitor that literally has no character and was just a background prop in Kenobi. And I was like, why is this the sort? Like, I'm happy to see Barriss again. I think that's a cool idea. But why this random Inquisitor that just showed up and nobody cares about? But then the show happened and it gave Lynn a character, and I liked what they did with it. So yeah, when it comes to these storylines, like I understand there are some characters where it's like, okay, we can't give a spin-off show to everybody, but it feels like we should be focusing, we can find other avenues for these characters to succeed. I hate this idea that just because one thing underperforms a little, that means we have to never see these characters ever fucking again, even if that product isn't even that bad. Like, it again, this is kind of happening with Marvel, where just because a project underperforms, they're like, oh, we're never going to see this character again, even if there's some shit it feels like we should address with them. Like, I'll say it, I don't care if grifters hate it. I'm disappointed we're probably not going to get Ironheart Season 2, because that show ended on a cliffhanger that I want to see resolved, and I like Dominique's take on Riri, and I want to see more of Dominique Thorne as this character. but we're probably not going to outside of a fucking Young Avengers movie. And they're probably just going to hand wave what happened at the end of her show like nothing happened. And it's like, no, that's an important part of her character. Like, I don't want to just see that brushed off. Or like, what's another good example? What's another good example of this? Agatha. I thought Agatha all along was great, and I want to see what happens to one of the characters after it. I don't want to see Agatha season 2, but I want to see a character from the end of it moving forward, and I don't know when that's going to happen.
Wait, they made the Agatha show?
Yes, I don't know.
Lady
when
at the end of WandaVision?
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And it's surprisingly good. I don't know when we're going to see some of these characters again, and that frustrates me when I like Moon Knight. Moon Knight, I really like that character in spite of my issues with the show. I want to fucking see him again. Where is Mark and Steven? Where is Layla? Where is Khonshu? Granted, Khonshu was at least in Marvel Zombies, and I liked that a lot, but that's a what if scenario. Where's the mainline characters that I want to see again? Like, or even when it's successful, we don't see them again. Like fucking Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi did well. People liked it, and it made money. We haven't seen that fucker outside of a Western episode of What If. So, like, what? Now he'll be back in Avengers Doomsday, but where the hell was he? Like, what? And I know apparently,
I think he was still on that karaoke stage with Wong.
Right? Yeah, I know. I know that apparently, like, the Ten Rings stuff was going to tie more into the Kang storyline, and they obviously redid all that. But like, come on, we should have at least heard about him. Like, you're seriously telling me you couldn't have? I mean, okay, you have a martial artist who worked for a terrorist organization under his father, and he now has these mystical rings. You're seriously telling me Shang-Chi can't show up in like a street level capacity? And hell, fuck, it'd be nuts. I wouldn't mind him showing up in Daredevil Born Again. It'd make no sense because he's in San Francisco, not New York. But like, just something.
I mean,
like,
Daredevil showed up in She-Hulk, so like anything's possible.
True,
The Punisher
actually.
special. They're making a Punisher movie straight to Disney Plus.
Yeah, hell, Spider-Man and Shang-Chi fights demons in the comics, and Mr. Negative, a Spider-Man villain, leads a group called the Demons. Why not have them work together before Doomsday? Like, I don't know.
Just say that he's following the demons and he needs Spider-Man's help. Like, that's
and he could know about the demons through Ten Rings connections or some shit. They're both technically Chinese-related, China-related terrorist organizations. Since the Ten Rings back in Iron Man, like one of their members talked about using the Iron Man suits to conquer all of Asia, and like I don't know. Oh wait, actually, my bad. Mr. Negative, I fucked that up. Mr. Negative is Korean, not Chinese. I did a racism. I apologize.
Kevin.
At least I corrected it. Unlike 90% of fan casts for Martin Lee in the MCU, who are just like, Asian dude, he should be Mr. Negative. It's like, no, he's Korean. But go, okay.
Yeah, something really funny happened with like that Indiana Jones movie where there's this kid named Teddy who's supposed to be Moroccan, but they cast a Brazilian guy to play him.
Not even African. Okay.
Wrong continent.
Yeah, that's wow.
I see how they got confused. They're very similar.
Yes, they're totally right next to each other.
Joe, you okay, by the way?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
I thought I heard you like crying or something. I just want to make sure you're okay.
Oh no, well, I'm always crying.
Oh Christ.
Well, we're here for you, buddy.
No, it's okay.
I love how the thing we were saying with Kevin, like about Marvel, like dropping shit when it's not popular, or even when it's popular. I love how the old DCEU had the exact same, exact opposite shit. Like, say what you want about that, and I like the new reboot, but like they were unapologetically like redoing the shit they did. Like Suicide Squad came out, everyone despised it, and you're like, oh yeah, you hated that? Fuck you. Here's a sequel.
Yeah, they at least
superhero movie. You didn't like Justice League or Batman v Superman? Here's a remake of Justice League. You didn't like Man of Steel? Fuck you. We're going back to that with the Flash. Yeah, some of them weren't perfect, or not even good, but at least they tried.
Right. Yeah. I also another good example of that. Yeah. With say what you will about the first Suicide Squad movie, at the bare minimum, and credit to DC for acknowledging this, it had Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, and for a lot of people, that's one of the like comic book movie castings ever in a lot of ways. Like there's some people who I like view Margot as the same slam dunk as
Like
not
Jonah
the
Jameson.
yeah, or even like RDJ as Iron Man or Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Not that she's as good as them, but just like kind of a similar thing. Where like, oh yeah, this is an actor that just she's one of the first actors that many people think of with this character. And granted, that had the unintended side effect of DC over focusing in some ways on Harley Quinn and the Suicide Squad. And it's sometimes for the better, like the James Gunn film, other times for the worse, like that for whatever reason, live service Suicide Squad killed the Justice League game. Seriously, why was that?
What was up with that? Did Batman die and like come back and now they're making another Arkham game or something? Or
I haven't played it. I haven't seen the full story. All I know is that like, the Justice League characters that die in it are at least Flash, Green Lantern, Superman, Wonder Woman, and Batman. A lot of people got pissed when Batman died because it was right after Kevin Conroy passed. So people thought the game was being disrespectful to him. Conroy recorded his lines months in advance, knowing what was going to happen to the character. The game did not intend to disrespect him. It's like how Marvel Zombies, the Marvel Zombies episode of What If, they had that whole thing of like T'Challa being kidnapped by Vision and like his leg was missing because they fed it to zombie Wanda. So it's like, it was just bad timing of like, why are we watching Chadwick suffering right after his death? Like that's not what they intended. It was just really bad timing.
Yeah.
And to be fair, What If as well, in the final episode, they did right by him with Star-Lord T'Challa. I didn't think his episode was great, but he at least got like his last line in that whole show was trying to convince his cousin to stop being evil and like find something better for himself. So that worked out, I think. But
yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. Anyway, I agree with you that with Star Wars, I hate this idea that, just because a Star Wars thing underperforms, that means we should never see some of these characters again. It's like, you're Star Wars. You're going to make 20 books about them anyway. Like, why not?
Yeah, George Lucas understood that. Like, you just don't fucking give up. Like, the first prequel movie got backlash, like, and same with Attack of the Clones. Like, he still kept like trying to improve him with the Clone Wars show and Revenge of the Sith. Now those are like everyone's favorite Star Wars things.
Yeah, if we gave up after the prequels, we wouldn't have what was literally my generation's Star Wars. Like, that was my Star Wars growing up. And it's just I really hate this idea that this is also, again, why even whether people like the movie or not, I hope people at least understand why some of us want to see like the Eternals again in Marvel. Because it's like, we like what, contrary to popular belief, people like these characters and just want to see more of them because they like them, not because cameos. What a fucking like amazing idea, right? Like, but remember, guys, nobody cares about Ironheart. Yeah, okay. Like, I know, different character, but that's my point. There are people who insist, like, because I don't like this character, that means nobody likes them. It's like, no. Like I don't love the characters of Book of Boba Fett, but you don't see me going like, nobody cares about the mods. Nobody gives a shit about them. Like, no, clearly people do. I just don't. And I'm fine with that. But either way, like it, yeah. So I don't know. Where are we going with this? I guess what's
that Sophie Thatcher's hot. Yes, I agree.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, that's a good continuation point. But yeah, also weird side tangent. But since we were talking about Shin and you made that joke earlier, I will say I like Shin's outfit a lot. I like how it kind of has like
freaking samurai. She's awesome.
Yeah, I like how it has this sort of like what's the word I'm looking for? It has this kind of like, what is it? Not clay, but there's just something that feels like almost homemade about it, yet also like there's
sewn
something
together.
There's something honest yet raw about it, and I also think the armor looks really cool. I'm a sucker for Star Wars characters with like little armor segments, and characters with shoulder pauldrons and shit is always fun. Is always fun character design. So yeah, still think the character is just the character ever who just exists, but I still like what the actress is trying to do with the role. So yeah, and the costuming actually, I think the costuming's pretty good in Ahsoka. for the most part. I want to know what the fuck is up with that Enoch dude with the gold face.
Enoch is so cool. I
In
love Enoch.
Thrawn's. When I first saw that mask, I was like, "Oh my god, that looks so fucking stupid," but I love it so much. And then now I'm like,
He looks
it's just
so cool. He looks like a Roman knight. I love
yeah.
him.
Now I'm just like, he looks really weird and cool, and I want to see more of him. Like, what is honestly that I will say that is one thing I was disappointed with in Tales of the Empire. I kind of when I saw the trailer and I saw like Thrawn and Morgan together in the same space, it didn't click for me that they were like the younger versions of them back during like the takeover of Corvus. And I thought it was going to be in the other galaxy. And we were going to see like Thrawn after. I still wish we got a show about Thrawn and Ezra right after they disappeared. But, you know, I do like what they're doing with them.
Real quick, tough luck in the comics. We've been torturing him right now talking about the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. So my quick thoughts on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And that's my thoughts on the Mandalorian and Grogu movie right now. I forgot what I was going to
It looks it has potential. I'll say that.
Looks like a movie.
Yeah, it looks okay. No,
I hope it makes money. I want it to make money because if it does, that means we'll get more Star Wars movies.
Yeah. I'm excited for Jeremy Allen White as Rada.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
I thought the trailer was okay. It didn't really like excite me a ton, but I was like, yeah, you're doing. So I like the opening shot of him and Grogu just like both using little telescopes. I thought that was cute. And
I like that Grogu has a dart launcher now. I think it's cool that he's having like his own set of like tools and weapons. Because that's something I think he should have. I hope he gets like his own like pauldron or something. That'd be cool. I don't think I don't want him to get a helmet just because I think it'll look really goofy. But like give him a pauldron.
It is also very.
What if they give him like a little baby like Minecraft shield made of this kind? That would be so cute.
Baby Minecraft shield.
I also, you know, it's funny in hindsight. Maybe I feel like I should be more excited about the whole Rhoda thing because talk about characters that just showed up and never came back. And mind you, as a reminder, Clone Wars 2008, the movie, that was basically my first Star Wars movie. I'm 90% sure I saw no Star Wars film before that. Like that was my Star Wars movie, like my first one. So
I didn't even know that movie existed until like 2013.
It was my second one. Like I saw like A New Hope. I was introduced to like A New Hope the first time. That was
interesting,
like, breathtaking. Then I saw the Clone Wars movie.
Yeah,
that's fucking whiplash.
I still have a amazing core memory of I was on I used to go on fucking StarWars.com and like watch all the clips they had on there and like the parodies and stuff. It's part of how I learned I shouldn't watch Family Guy at that age. And
crap, Lois.
And I still remember the exhilaration of I watched the trailer for the Clone Wars show on the StarWars.com 10 minutes before it premiered on Cartoon Network. When it said
that's really funny.
When it said this October date at this time, I was like, holy fuck, I'm rushing over to the TV right now. And it was just such a fun memory. It's such a fun memory looking. I'm so glad I caught that when I did.
My first episode was the one that like the first one I watched was Dooku Captured, but the one that I actually like was engaged in was the R2D2 one with R3S6.
Oh yeah, I like that one a lot. Yeah,
the episode sucks, but like it's really nostalgic for me.
The ending with like R3 and R2 dueling on like this fucking collapsing beam.
Counterpoint. At least it fucking shows Anakin's Jedi Interceptor, the first one at least. That's my favorite ship in Star Wars, and we don't see it enough. Jedi
the Delta ship is really cool.
Delta Jedi Starfighters are fucking awesome, and I want to see more of them.
Do we have anything left to say?
I actually don't think so. I think we've covered everything. Like, thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If Bob Iger by any chance happens to watch the stream, I'm gonna say to you something I cannot say in English, otherwise YouTube will take me down. I don't
know what that means. I'm not gonna.
Neither do I.
Good.
I'm not going to condone it
It's
just in
very-
case it's
all right.
something illegal.
In
It's not
case it's
illegal.
in,
Just-
in case it's a slur, we're not going to be thrown under the bus. But
no slurs, no slurs. Just like
I'm just
very
going to say
vulgar urban
something. I'm
insults.
just going to say something way less risque. Bob, I hope both sides of your pillow are warm tonight.
Yeah, that works.
And we're going to end it there. That's all I'm going to say.
All right, oh, 1 second. Media assets.
What the fuck did you send in the group chat?
I said media assets.
I saw this while scrolling earlier. I think I was looking for like news on the Ben's. I typed like Ben Solo thing in case I needed to pull up the article. I scrolled for fun and I just fucking found this from an article.
Can you post that on the story? That
Yeah,
the audience.
I'm posting it here.
But I want to, screen share. I want that to
One
be
second.
the last
I'm
impression the audience has on this stream.
Yeah, let this be the last impression that you guys have of this.
Yes, I will. And with that, I will fucking leave my audience off with this beautiful image. Window.
I'm waiting.
All right. There we go.
I love how
Beautiful.
thick the neck is, dude. It's
Can
so
bounce a
awkward.
quarter off that neck.
Did you know apparently before the Dark Universe collapsed, The Rock was going to be the Wolfman?
That's really funny.
Good night, everybody.
I'm so happy that Universe failed, man.
Thank you.
All right.
You watched the original trailer for that, right? With the Mummy, where the
Oh,
audio was.
I've
oh my God.
seen bits and pieces of it. Yeah,
So funny.
it's so wow.
I don't
I-
understand how you can mess up that bad on a film.
Yeah, it's oh my gosh. All right, I'm gonna head out, but yeah, this
Me
has been
too.
fun. I'll
Thank
see you
you.
guys.
Alright.
I'm gonna see you guys later.
Thank you to my co-hosts Kevin and Joe. Love you guys.
Aw, thank you.
All right, next
I
stream.
tolerate you too.
Thanks. Hopefully next stream, if there's no other big Star Wars news in between, we will be going the frame by frame, the Avengers Doomsday trailer, frame by frame, to see how much of a shit show that is. May the Force be with you always, and remember, gamers don't wipe.